This is not how we intended to celebrate the feast of St. Barnabas this year. Mass was to have been offered in the beautiful Ordinariate Church of Our Lady of the Assumption and St. Gregory in Warwick Street in London, with Cardinal Anders Arborelius, Archbishop of Stockholm, as the principal celebrant and homilist. The coronavirus pandemic made that impossible. Instead, today I am in Oxford, without the Cardinal, and in the more humble surroundings of our Society's chapel. But it's important for us to mark this special day, which is why I have chosen to speak to you. And I hope that this will unite you with the Society in its work, and also encourage you to keep up the wonderful support you give to us each year. It's that support which enables us to provide for the needs of those who have sacrificed so much to embrace the Catholic faith. I describe this chapel as humble, when in fact it is very beautiful. This is thanks to the work of a talented Argentinian artist called Marcelo Lavachan. Last year, Marcelo painted the crucifix above the altar, and this lovely icon of St. John Henry Newman and Blessed Dominic Barbary, which were both blessed by the Archbishop of Birmingham to mark Newman's canonization. The previous year, he decorated the altar for us by creating 3 icons at the altar's base. Each one represents a scene from the life of St. Barnabas. The first depicts Barnabas kneeling before the apostles and offering the proceeds of the sale of some land he had owned. In the second, he is presenting Saul of Tarsus to the apostles, assuring them that Saul's conversion to Christianity was genuine, and that this former enemy of the church could now be trusted as a faithful disciple. The third icon shows Barnabas kneeling in prayer with a halter around his neck, surrounded by an angry mob armed with stones and preparing for martyrdom. These beautiful images are a reminder to us not only of the life and ministry of Barnabas, but of the essential work of our charity, which bears his name. From its very beginnings, the church needed money to accomplish what God was asking of her. Today, it is no different. During the present crisis, many people are suffering financial hardship, and others, of course, have to be more careful about what they spend. But the St. Barnabas Society needs a great deal of money to carry on its work. The income from our investments has fallen dramatically, and with churches closed and public masses suspended, we're no longer able to make parish appeals. But the needs of our beneficiaries remain unchanged. And on top of that, there are others waiting to be received into the church who are going to need our support when that can eventually happen. So it will be a terrible tragedy if we have to disappoint them because we lack the resources to help. It might even make the conversion journey for some impossible. So the generosity of St. Barnabas to the early church, depicted in the first icon, is a reminder of the importance of generous giving in the church of today. Please consider making a gift to the Society if you haven't done so already. If you do already support us, can you afford to give us just a little more? And will you consider leaving a legacy to the Society in your will? Legacies are an important source of funding for us, and we remain forever grateful to those who choose to support us in this way, not least by ensuring that Mass is regularly offered for the repose of their souls. The Acts of the Apostles tells of how St. Barnabas befriended Saul of Tarsus, later St. Paul, and helped him to find acceptance and eventually a leading role within the infant church. To uproot oneself from a position which has seemed both familiar and secure, and make a new home in the strange new world of Roman Catholicism is always challenging. It involves sacrifice, and it carries with it no watertight guarantee of a safe and certain future. There is no other organisation which provides for the needs of convert clergy and religious in the way that the St. Barnabas Society does. And our work goes far beyond the provision of material support, important though that may be. It is also about providing the hand of friendship to those who are beginning a new life as Roman Catholics, and helping them to slowly discover what God is asking of them and where God intends them to be. Most converts need to talk openly at some point about their feelings and emotions, and to do so to someone who is there not to judge, but to help. It can be just as important as money being put into your pocket or a roof over your head. The St. Barnabas Society is there to be a supportive friend to those God invites to make the conversion journey. Barnabas himself was known as the son of encouragement. Welcoming, befriending, encouraging and supporting is an essential part of what we do. So that of course leaves the icon which depicts the martyrdom of Barnabas. At this moment, the halter of coronavirus is around our necks. And we too are being threatened, not by an angry mob, but by a silent, invisible enemy, which is just as deadly. Many people have died, too many. Others are frightened, both for themselves and for their loved ones. Our churches are closed, and our people are unable to gather for worship and share in the sacramental life which is their lifeline with God. Instead, their priests are carrying them to the altar each day with all their needs and concerns, and doing for them what they are unable to do for themselves. And the St. Barnabas Society shares in that essential priestly work, offering the holy sacrifice each day, often in this very chapel, for the needs of the church and of the world. And the Mass intentions are published each week upon our website. We have no idea at the moment when this situation will change for the better. There may well be a long and difficult journey ahead for us. It's just possible that things will never be quite the same again. But as Father Jean-Pierre de Caussade reminded us, there is something called the sacrament of the present moment. Time is a gift. Each and every moment is precious, and God is mysteriously at work within it. Time is never, ever to be wasted. We're living with so much fear and uncertainty at present. But this does not prevent us from cooperating with God's grace, and in such a way that we can grow in our knowledge and love of Him, of ourselves, and of each other. There are lessons for us to learn from coronavirus. For all its horrors, this is a moment of grace. It's just possible that we shall emerge from this pandemic much better Catholics than we were before. When, as director, I think about the society and about its future, I'm not afraid. Instead, I'm quietly confident that God will grace us in new and surprising ways, and that coronavirus will have taught us how to prioritise, whilst remembering at the same time how fragile life is and how totally dependent we are upon the gifts that come from heaven. So on this holy feast day, may Our Lady, Queen of Apostles and Martyrs, St. Barnabas, St. John Henry Newman, and Blessed Dominic Barbary pray for you and pray for the St. Barnabas Society. Please continue to support us and our beneficiaries, because we need and we value your help.